What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I am still James.
And we got an epic review for y'all today. Saw Witches, the remake of Witches. The 2020 Witches. The original came out in the 90s. But yeah, this is the remake, and it just dropped this weekend, so we got a review. But before we do that, we got an intro. All right, we are back. All right, so The Witches, not The Witches of Eastwick. That was a more serious film. This was like a kid's film.
Yeah.
But do you remember the original?
Not really.
See, it came out in 1990, so like a lot of 90 kids
I'm trying to remember.
was probably too young. But the thing was, it was so grotesque, the way the witches looked. They was a little too scary for kids, in my opinion, when I seen that. Jim Henson did it. And it was like, what's those, like Dark Crystal and
God,
Labyrinth and all that?
Yeah.
Like, those looked a little too freaky for kids for me. You know what I'm saying?
So like
it was like puppetry, but it was kind of real.
So like all the stuff his son be on. And
yeah, it was real kind of goth-like
Yeah.
puppetry, you know?
Okay.
So the Jim Henson kind of did the makeup and all the effects on that original witches, and they made them look so grotesque. I just remember seeing it because I was like a preteen at the time or around there. But, I wasn't even into stuff like that. But when I saw those witches, I was like, damn, that actually that looked kind of scary. It don't look like a kid movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was a kid movie, man. We're gonna watch the trailer for the new one. We're gonna watch a quick trailer for the new 2020 Witches, and then we'll be back with the review.
My story begins when I was a young boy.
You'll be comfy here in your mama's old room. I'd do anything for her to be here right now.
Grandma was a tough lady with a big heart. And little by little, she brought me out of my sadness.
Now if you feel that you can't go on, darling,
I didn't know it, but there was a dark shadow looming nearby. Witches. They're real, and they hate children.
Welcome.
What would you do if there were mice running all around and they saw that?
I would call the exterminator.
You see, girls? He would exterminate those brats.
Rats. We would exterminate the rats.
I feared this was happening. Then here, that means a test is coming.
Ladies, I have a plan. Andro, to transform a child into a mouse.
Whoa! Why are we mouses?
Mice?
Whatever!
Grandma, it's me!
Is that you, boy? We'll never let you get away with your filthy, evil plot.
Who's gonna stop me?
Doesn't matter who you are or what you look like, so long as somebody loves you.
You wouldn't happen to be carrying around a mouse on your person, now would you?
A mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth would I be carrying around a mouse?
Okay, all right. That was a trailer for this way a little bit. That was trailer for Witches 2020. It was it was actually pretty similar to that original version. You never seen the original version?
I don't think I have. Like, I've seen some stills from it, and I'm pretty sure I've seen stills from it pop up all over the place, but I've never actually seen the movie.
Well, I've seen it. The original, as I told you, was very the grotesque witches. But it was pretty much the same thing. But I'm tell you, the difference was the first 20 minutes of the movie, like before they met all the witches, before it turned into a Disney or not, well, before it turned into like a children's story. It was kind of like a whole different movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That first, the original didn't have all the original wasn't as drama. It didn't have as much drama as it did in the original, because I mean in this one, because in this one, the first 20 minutes of it felt like a whole nother movie where it was like it was about a kind of a coming of age story, a boy trying to cope with the loss of his parents, and now he got to be with his grandma. I was like, are they going a little too serious with this when I first seen it? I mean, how did you feel about that first 20 minutes?
So I didn't know any of that was coming. You know, I'm expecting kids in a hotel gets turned into a mouse. You know,
yeah.
There's witches, whatever. And so, like, they start the movie off dark.
Right.
And heavy. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this.
And then I don't know the kid name of the play, the young kid, but they had him like
he was catatonic, man.
Right, he was catatonic and depressed, and he wouldn't talk and wouldn't eat. Like, I'm looking like, okay, is this a kid movie or is this really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or is this supposed to be a serious drama about somebody that's traumatized about their parents dying or whatever? I'm like, okay, I thought this was a lighthearted, you know, comedy.
Because like I'm watching the first 20 minutes, I'm like, are y'all sure this was a Roald Dahl story?
Because they done that kind of story before where, my parents died. They'll do it like some way where, you know, sorry, son, your parents didn't make it. You got somebody that can help, somebody you can stay with, you know, they kind of do it like that or whatever, kind of gloss over it. They showed the accident. They showed how he was traumatized. I'm like, oh, wow.
You know, and usually with these kinds of stories, the story itself is what helps the character get through the trauma and the grief.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're going to get you past all of that in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to do it heavy and hard, so, you know, strap in.
And look, and on the trailer, they made it look like once his grandma started being nice and stuff, that he was like, oh, okay. And he was still catatonic.
Yeah.
Like, she was trying to cheer him up for like days, and he just was like, wouldn't even eat, wouldn't even talk. I'm like, okay, y'all going a little too serious with this. I don't know, but I one thing I thought, I didn't like, I thought they would make this movie like in a modern time. It was like in the South in the '60s or something.
Yeah,
and we already know where this is going.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had a problem with some of the stereotypes I saw. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to leave that alone because this is a different kind of movie. This is the time they was in or whatnot. But sometimes it seemed like they was purposely trying to throw some stuff in your face. Now, I know this is South. I know this is the kind of food they ate with her. But that big plate of chicken.
Yeah.
But she's like, I was like, and it's cool. I was like, first of all, why would a kid want that much food? Like, she had like about 5 big ass wings on the plate. Like, nobody turned down my chicken.
The only thing that I will say is, like, I have heard like that there's this whole thing where it's like you're supposed to like eat greasy food when you're grieving.
Oh,
like,
I never heard of that.
Yeah. Like, I never got it, but like I don't know what the point of it is, but it's a thing that like some folks in my family have told me, and maybe that's what they were going for. Either way, it's a weird thing to me. You know, you just drop a huge plate of fried chicken, like no sides or nothing. Just drop a huge plate of fried chicken.
Well, the portions were pretty big because she gave a big ass piece of cornbread too. I was
like, but she gave this little dude, like, we talking about, you know, a fat like 4-piece chicken meal, no biscuit, no fries, no drink, just
You know, I mean, you know, and I didn't even want to read too much into it. I was like, I'm gonna let that go. I ain't gonna go. It was like, I didn't care for. I would have rather for them made this in modern time. I don't know what was the reason of putting it in that time period.
Because
like,
I think this
that wasn't relevant to the story to me.
The story doesn't necessitate a time period.
That's what I'm saying. But you know, for some reason they put it in the '60s in the South, in like Alabama somewhere, and so I'm thinking like, all right, this is a cool. I mean, it's an okay little story about a coming of age story about the kid learning how to cope with without his parents and living with his grandma or whatever. And then when they bring into the witch story, it don't. The two things don't go together to me.
Exactly.
You know,
like one, the witch story kind of intrudes upon the first story we get, and more than anything, I'm like, I'd be down to watch that first movie.
Right? Yeah, a coming of age movie.
You know, I'm for that movie. Get your witches out of my coming of age story.
Okay, in that scene where they have the witch,
oh God,
where they had her, she right like by the window. I was looking like, you know, when they dance in the living room, and then but there's witches here, and then why is she?
We don't know.
They never went there.
Yeah,
like that one particular witch had nothing to do with her, right?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because we talk, and then we're gonna talk about this later, but Anne Hathaway was the main witch, and I'm gonna get to her, but that's she has some ties to her, right? But that other witch was just there,
and
and we're gonna talk about all that
for no reason.
So I was just talking about so we can get to the witches because for some reason I don't know why was Octavia Spencer sick.
I had assumed that that one witch had placed a curse on her because
okay, so she's been sick ever since that curse. Yeah. Okay.
Like the one that was standing outside the window.
Oh, okay. So they get. Oh, you talking about
because
at that time they put a curse on her.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she just like left and went. I guess she was on her way to the convention or whatever. So if anybody remember the original, Angelica Houston was the main witch, and she was the perfect witch to me. One, she already played in Addams Family, and she just looked like her. She just got that look to me where she looked. I don't want to say she looked evil, but she got the look.
You know what it is? Because I remember thinking this when I was younger. It's like she looked like she don't like kids.
Yeah, I got a little clip from the original where she kind of showed her ass, and Anne Hathaway tried to mimic her. So let me take a little bit of Angelica Houston on this.
For when a little boy accidentally stumbles into their secret world, he finds they've got a lot more power than he ever imagined.
Grandma, it's me, Luke. Luke.
So, like I told you, it's pretty much the same movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same movie. Far as plot wise, and then I'll say, okay, so how's this going to turn out once the witch stuff and the mouse stuff happens or whatever? And it was the same movie. How do you feel that they use special effects more than they use prosthetics? Because on the original it was all makeup and prosthetics.
Well, so the one thing I did see, so they've got this special effect, like you see it most on Anne Hathaway. Because she's the only witch that really gets like real screen time.
Yeah, and she just showing her ass.
Yeah, like when her face will open up and you see her teeth and everything.
Yeah,
which is a cool effect. But I do I saw a bit from the original movie where
I was trying to find a
where she actually takes her face off.
Yeah, where they got long noses and Yeah, like I said, the original was just more prosthetics, which was grotesque to me, and this one was just more of special effects. They got the Joker smile, and I guess less fingers and all that.
The Glasgow grin.
Yeah, whatever, and less fingers and all that stuff, and boils and stuff on their head. Like they did, they kept the part where none of them had hair. They all had wigs. With,
wig rash.
Yeah, that's what that was.
That's what she called it. What Octavia Spencer called it in the movie.
Because she had a worm or maggot or something, and she just ate that. So anyway, they did a lot of the same. It was like pretty much the same plot for as him turned to a mouse. And then I remember one thing I particularly remember from the original Little Fat Kid was in the original, like, you promised me some bars of chocolate. It was like I said, it was the same thing, but like we said, it was two different movies. Yeah. And another thing I didn't like, which this is why didn't want this to be no period piece or whatever. Man, it felt like all the people it felt like they were slaves or something. It's just like all the people that worked there, especially the bellhop looked at her like, yes, ma'am. You ain't got to give me no dollar. He just looked like he was so surprised to see a black woman. Yeah. Or something like that. He was. Right.
And even when he turned
down
her money.
So they was alluding to this old, racist stuff.
Yeah. Like, even when he turned down her money, it was like, no, I know you barely affording this place.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. And then I was like, I know they're trying to put attention to that, but I thought this was supposed to be a different kind of movie. I thought we were supposed to be a lighthearted little movie. Which one are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Like, this movie has a weird, it doesn't really handle its tone that well. Yeah. Because you start out dark, you start out heavy, you get this dramatic, coming of age, dealing with grief story. Then you go right into this absurd witch stuff. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you trying to handle racism in the South in the 60s?
Yeah. Oh, see, they didn't.
Not handle, but present.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like.
And the story doesn't lend itself to that.
Yeah. I mean, and then the witches, let's talk about the witches. I mean, basically, Anne Hathaway was the only one that really got like speaking roles or whatever with that. And, the rest of them just kind of like in the background. And it was kind of like the original where Angelica Houston did all the heavy lifting on the screen time with the witches or whatever. And how you think she did?
I mean, she showed ass. I don't know another way to say it. Like, she comes in like I don't know what that accent was supposed to be.
Yeah, that was all over the place. Her accent was all over the place.
It started kind of Germanic, it was some Dutch stuff. Then it went French for a little while. Then she was Russian, and she was just everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Where I say, usually I just say it's bad if you can't hold the accent, but I'm figuring you over the top character anyway. I don't care. Plus, it's just like a kids movie. But yeah, I mean, she kind of gave me a little life to something that was kind of boring to me. Because originally the story started off okay. Then it was just kind of like, not too much to it. It was a little boring to me. And then she come in and just, she just showed her ass.
Like,
so
I was
like
Anne Hathaway is one of those actresses. She never plays the same character twice, and she goes out of her way to make sure that that.
Right. And then to me, she was like, maybe they was like, she was supposed to have been like a rich, entitled, like maybe she supposed to have been like a caricature of somebody that's just like rich and entitled and racist and prejudiced. They put her hatred towards kids, but other people probably feel their way about, other people. Yeah. So,
but like, there's even this like, I do appreciate the way she handled, characterizing, this is not someone who knows how to be personable, Yeah. So it's like when she tries to be, such and such and such. It's like, okay, I'll ignore that it didn't sound like he was just talking about killing some kids, because I ain't got time for that right now. But I'm pretty sure you just said you wanted to kill some kids.
Yeah, they showed it on the trailer, like when she say, kill those brats. I mean, rats. Right.
And she didn't even say, right. She just looked at him like, are you stupid?
Well, I mean, then Stanley Tucci was the
hotel manager.
The hotel manager. He was funny. I mean, it was, like I said, it was about the exact same plot as the original. Or what you think about the effects of them actually turning into a mouse?
They was doing too much. One, I don't think it's really all that like, unless you can go hyper real with a transformation effect.
Yeah,
you can go way more cartoony with it and not bother with all the close ups and the bursting into colors.
I mean, it was okay, but I tell you what, when the witches turned to mice, they look gross. Like them,
they turned in. Those weren't mice; those were rats.
Yeah, they turned into rats. The other kids turned to cute little mice. They turned into nasty,
and some big
hairless,
rats.
big rats.
Like, the kids turned into like little mice. Like you could cup them in one hand.
Yeah, right.
The witches turned into like
lab mice, or something.
Almost foot tall rats.
Yeah.
Like when Anne Hathaway turned into a rat, like she got big arms. She looked like
I know, and she still talking crap.
I don't know if you remember what they call them, the wargs from Lord of the Rings. They're like weird wolf things that the bad guys be using, but like they're like something between wolves and rats.
Okay,
that's what they look like when they turn into rats. Like y'all ain't right.
They look gross.
Like, and like one of them like start climbing on Stanley.
Well, they did the old joke of one run to his crotch.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
they always got to do a crotch joke in these movies.
Of course, they're for kids, guys.
Yeah, but no, I mean, Octavia Spencer did a great job, but I'm telling you, she's so typecast as
the mystical Negro,
right? And I don't even know how old she is. I don't think she's like over 40.
No,
but she just got that look. She's
always somebody's grandma or somebody's auntie.
That's somebody's mom, and then they always got her cooking chicken and talking about, because I remember The Help. She pretty much played, the same character. I mean, she was kind of.
Now you wait right there, baby.
Right. I mean, she got the big crazy eyes, but she always kind of playing this same kind of character, And then I just like, I like that's why I liked what's that movie, Ma?
Yeah.
Where she was just kind of, she was kind of just like a psycho or whatever. I'm like, okay, I like to see her do something different because she's a good actress,
Right.
And I just get tired of them putting her in just this same stereotypical role,
Yeah.
But I mean, she did good for what she had. And what you think about the Chris Rock voiceover?
That's the only thing I truly wish. Like, I didn't appreciate like kind of the jump cut between the dramatic movie and the kids movie.
Yeah.
But I really like, if there's anything like I could immediately cut from this movie and make it better, it's Chris Rock's voiceover.
Yeah.
Like, there was no point to that voiceover.
Yeah.
I did not need it. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there was a time I would have. I'm sure there's kids.
I don't think you needed that to follow the movie either.
No.
Like, it didn't like help you. Like, oh, wait, I don't understand what's going on. Not really. We get it.
Like,
it's witches here.
Yeah. I would even say adding that in takes me out of the movie.
Made it seem like a episode of Everybody Hates Chris.
Yes.
Because that's how he used to do that. He used to do the voiceover before the the episode or whatever, and then when something was about to happen, he'd do his little monologue.
That's
about
exactly because like I hadn't seen the trailer for this, and I didn't know Chris Rock was in it at all.
Yeah.
And so my introduction to him being in this movie was his voice. So I'm like, wait, is this Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah. Well, so it's like I said, it was the pretty much the exact same movie from the original. And I'm gonna tell you, they had a little twist in there that I was like, really, y'all? What the hell? Where you know what I'm talking about? And I don't even know. I ain't gonna say what it was. It was something in there where they just revealed something in the middle of the movie, and out of nowhere, and they pretty much said, all right, well, just go with it. Like, wait, what? Just go with it. Yeah, and then the end, I was like, it was kind of a happy ending, but to me, it wasn't really.
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. Like, you know what it is? Like, this is like, you get to the end of Terminator only to find out, oh no, John Connor still dies, but we saved the rest of humanity though.
That's not a bad ending.
No.
But I get what you said.
It's like, I mean, yeah, but no.
Yeah.
I'm not fond of these kinds of endings in these kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Like, this is a kid's story and it ends kind of dark. Like, why?
Yeah. I actually watched the credits just to see were they gonna change? Were they gonna give me what I thought I was gonna
No.
get?
No, you don't.
No,
get it.
they just they just ended on this note where it wasn't a sad note, but it was like a really note. Like y'all gonna stop? Y'all gonna just not do nothing about this? Y'all not gonna even try to do something about this?
Yeah.
No, they just left it there. Like and that's why I was like, okay, all right.
Like, because again, like the beginning and end of this movie, I could never put them together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you just showed me these two parts of this movie, I would never assume they were the same movie.
I'm thinking like they could have, well, like I guess you could. Okay, when somebody want to make a remake, you get a movie they want to do, and that's the movie that they probably gave you that 20 minutes or something. That 3/4 of the movie, the third of the movie could have been what they wanted to do, and they wanted to continue that. But they was like, only way you get funding for what you want to do is you make this remake of that. So then they had to take, the other 3/4 of the movie,
as much of their story
and
in
then
there
make
as
it
they
just
can.
that remake. But
Yeah.
that third of the movie was another movie.
Yeah.
and it was actually wasn't a bad movie.
Probably a movie that better deserved to be made.
Yeah.
You know,
So I think that's what happened there. They was
that's
like
Hollywood though.
you're right, because Hollywood don't care about art. So like if you say I got this movie, will it sell? We don't know, but it's a real good movie that needs to be told.
It's a great story.
It needs to be told.
People
but
will relate to
Hollywood
it. They'll
say
vibe with
if it ain't gonna sell, you ain't gonna get no money from us.
Yeah.
You better use your own money.
Like in times like these, like watching movies like these, I always like remember this line from homeboy that made Spaceballs, who forever
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Can't forget him.
A stand-up comedian came up to him like he was writing for him, and he's like, "Yeah, I got this idea for this line." It's like, "Let me hear it, kid." And he tells him the line. It's like, "That's real funny. That's real funny. You got a good sense of humor. I like that." But hey, let me tell you something. Wit is shit, kid. Funny is money.
Well, it took me so long to understand the line in Spaceballs when he said, "Spaceballs 2, the search for more money." Like, I did not get that when I saw that when I was a kid. I'm like, why they call it that? I got that way later in
like,
life.
There's
where I
so
understand
much.
what he meant by that.
There's so much that it's like when you watch movies, like how did this movie get made? It's like money. Someone was trying to make money, or somebody shoved some money down somebody's throat.
Yeah, but we're gonna wrap it up. But on the whole, man, the movie, I didn't care for it as much. It was, first of all, I'm not a fan of the original. It was, like I said, those witches. I wish I could give me I wish I would have had a picture of that. But those witches were grotesque. Looking the original witches, and that's what sticks in your mind more than a movie, because it was supposed to be just a movie. One of them days, huh? It just supposed to have been a movie. I mean, just supposed to have been like a kid's movie, but I'm gonna show you one of these witches that from the original 2020, because the original witches were like way more grotesque than the new ones. The new ones, they look freaky. Yeah, these was the original. If I get that close up on that, it's so hard to get a close up and oh jeez. Anyway, yeah, and it was just like makeup and prosthetics, but when you see it, really. You see how they do me, man?
They went out of their way to hold you on that.
I mean, you can't really see that. But anyway, it was just makeup and prosthetics, but I remember just seeing that and just like, whoa, that's pretty damn freaky. Like, but the movie itself, I can't hear on that one. The movie itself, though, was just...
You forgot a 9 in the search. That's what it is.
Oh, shoot. The movie itself, though, was just another movie. It's just the looks of the witches. There it is.
Yeah.
That was the one that looking at that when you were a kid,
man.
this is really going to just kind of mess you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's nightmare fuel right there.
Right. So, okay, matter of fact, this is the scene I think you're talking about, where she took her face off in that one. So, you know, they went more with the prosthetics. You know what I'm saying, in the original.
Like, again, I like the effect they use, like where like the way their faces open up, like their mouths get like ear to ear.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that effect. It's just it's a special effect. It's not real.
Right. I don't care for CGI and like that. Like
Yeah.
CGI is better to me is background. You know, I'd rather, you know, use environmental CGI than CGI just on people.
Well, like, and also there's this effect on all of on specifically on her because she's the one they do this on, where they have a bit of CGI face on her every time they're about to use that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can tell that stretch of her face isn't real.
Yeah.
So, like, before the effect even comes in, I can look at that and say, that's CGI face right there.
Yeah.
And that never sells.
Yeah. The original gets the nod for the makeup design opposed to the new using the CGI. And like I said, the story is pretty much the same. The original was better as a kid's movie.
Yeah.
This one, right, like you said, started as a serious drama, come-of-age drama, and then it switched to a kid's hokey, you know, mouse movie or whatever. So, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to give this movie on my rating. I'll give it a whack. I couldn't give it all right because of the original was better and the unevenness of the movie.
Yeah.
I just didn't I didn't care for it, so I had to give it a whack. I didn't give it a hot garbage because there was things in there. It was some of the performances that kind of like was interesting.
Because like there weren't any bad performances in this at all.
Yeah, I mean,
there was one, but
you could say Anne Hathaway. That could go either way for you. That could have been so over the top, but sometimes over the top is good.
So, like, that was the thing. You had solid acting and solid overacting.
Yeah, which over the top is good when it's a little boring. Somebody brings some life into this.
You know, Stanley Tucci as a bougie ass
he did
Alabama
good job.
hotel manager. Like I'm about that.
So what rating you give it?
You know,
before we wrap up,
I'm gonna give it a whack. Like it just doesn't work. You know, the special effects just aren't grounded enough to sell it, and the storyline is too scattered. So,
all right, it wasn't all that. So that is our rating, and that is our review for the 2020 Witches. Is on HBO Max. I think it's just on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So it was an HBO Max original. Probably see more of these. More of these remakes of old school Warner Brothers because HBO got to deal with Warner Brothers. So I wouldn't mind seeing some things remade, but some things they can leave alone. So that is our review for Witches. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Please subscribe to the channel.
And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notification, set that to all so you get a notification every time we post a video or go live.
Yes, please. All right, y'all, we out of here.
Peace.